So in this video, I'm going to show you Excel Chapter 1, Project 2A through C. It is about autofill and some functions such as sum, average, and so on. So most common function is called AutoSum. All right, so let's get on it. In Excel, I'm looking at page number, let's see, page number 16, and is Project 2A. But beforehand, I want you to take a look at page number 15, and at the bottom of the page, you have a table 1.3, and there's a list of autofill handle series. And what that means is this. Just for now, just don't pay attention to this because we'll do that in a minute. But let's say you have, let's say January. And then obviously there are 12 months. So you can say February and March. You can keep typing, but that takes time. And also, it's very often that we use the months, names of months, and so on. So Excel created this list of autofill. And for example, the names of the month or list of the months. And so you click on it. First, you type the word January or any month of the year. And then click on the cell to select it, and then on the bottom right corner there's a little square thing at the bottom right corner. So this is a regular pointer, and as I get closer to that corner, it has to be the bottom right corner. It becomes solid cross or black cross. So once we have that, click, hold it down, and drag it down. So you notice that little blip and let go. Okay? That's how you do it. Also, if you want to, you can do to the right. Same thing. And then you can have what are the series of things. For example, the days of the month, days of the week. Let's say Monday. So click on it. Bottom right corner. That's autofill. By the way, this little square thing in the bottom right corner is called fill handle or fill handler. So point at the fill handle, click, hold it down, the mouse button, and then drag it down. Or for that matter, I think you can drag it up and drag it to the right. Okay, and also there are other lists. Let me just go ahead and select this and delete it. And then let's say you had Jan, as in January. Excel knows that's the list. And then how about, let's say you have Jan 1. So if it's Jan 1, if you hit the Enter key, this is another feature of Excel. It automatically reformats it as a date. So once you have that, we'll talk about that later. This is a little bit different from autofill, but anyway, you get the rest of the columns or rows populated that way. And how about QT1? So here QT stands for quarter. So first quarter, second quarter, and so on. So click on it, autofill handle. So we have QT 1 through 4. So these are the kind of examples of autofills. So of course there are many more, and also if you want, when you want to, you can create a new list of your own. Let's say your office uses certain list of things that you use again and again. Why don't you just create a list in the autofill, and then you get to use it. Anyway, so that's the introduction of autofill. And let's move on to Project 2A. And then they wanted you to open this a data file called fill cell. So how do you open it? So let's say if you don't already have this open, so go to File, Open, and then this is again Excel 2013, so you should have something like that. And then here you, in the open window, dialog window, make sure you go down and then click on your flash drive, and then double click on BizTech 150 Excel to open it. So double click, and there's chapter 1, double click, and then there's fill cell. You can double click, and since I have already opened it, I'm going to just go back here. All right, so they wanted us to do some fun stuff, so click on B1. It says type January, and then select a cell using the mouse, or if you want to, you can use the upward arrow key on your keyboard, so you can navigate using the arrow key. Okay, and then let's do the autofill. Click, drag it to the right, and all the way to June, and let go. And that's how simple it is. And now click on A2 and type the word year, 1 space 1, enter. Click back again, do the autofill, so we have year 1 through 4. Okay, now click on, you can do autofill with numbers. So here's 100, and then you can just go here, type 100, and click here, 100, and so on, but that takes time. So who wants to do the same thing over and over again? Why, you could just simply click, and then click in the fill handler, drag it to right, and it'll automatically copy it for you. Obviously, you know, typing 4 times is no huge deal, but again, it could be easily dozens or even thousands of cells. So you see the potential benefits is pretty big. And let's see, what else do they want? And it looks like they want you to oopsie, never mind, they want you to copy that too. So cell B2, and then drag and fill all the way to B5. I'm looking at step number 7, and then click on autofill operation button. So here is a kind of a tricky thing. So when you have this so far, so let me just do it again, click, and then click and drag it down. So let me do it again. I clicked on it, okay, so my pointer is over here, and then gently go back and click again, hold it down and drag it down. So I did something rather unusual. So when I do that, I get this little help, quick analysis. Okay, so you click on it, and then let's see. So this is a little bit different from chart formatting, chart totals. Okay, so this is different. This is, I guess, this is different from Excel 2010. So I don't think I can show it to you. Table totals. So I guess I'm going to just use an old method like that. Okay. All right. So moving on, and cell number 8, cell A10, column A and 10, and we're going to type QT1. I'm sorry, Q uppercase lowercase t r 1 space 1, and then whenever I see QT1 or quarter 1, so that means quarter 4 all the way down here. Okay, and we're going to save this. File, save. Oh, never mind. I am supposed to save this as step number 10. Okay, so I shouldn't have used a save because it will replace the content of a fill cell. And so go back, file, this time save as, because I need to give a new name. Oopsie, I was already there. And chapter 1, and it's going to be EL1-C1-P2- cells, no space between fill and cells. And then you don't have to put period and XLSX. So those 4 letters and 1 period, that you don't need to put it in there because XLSX is a file extension. It's like a little tag or attribute. Basically, it is basically identifying this file is an Excel file. But since you are saving it from Excel, it adds that file extension automatically. So you do not need to put that file extension. In fact, it's better not to put it there because, just in case if you make a typo, then it could cause a problem. So just put the names. No, forget about the dot or period and then file extension XLSX. Okay, go ahead and click on save. All right, so that's been saved. That's 2A, project 2A, and let's talk about formula. So as I said, formula, and in the formula bar, is the heart of Excel. And if you understand it and become comfortable, not if, but when you understand it and become comfortable with using it, you pretty much just get it. You get Excel. You know how to use it. Okay? So there's a lot of stuff, but nothing too complex at all. So, if you can remember the basics of, 3rd grade arithmetic or math, then that's all you need. Okay? So let's get on it. So it's very simple. Let's practice. Let's see here. I'm looking at page number 18. That's project 2B. All right, so after 4th year, oh, never mind. That's interesting. That is different. That is different. I think I made a mistake. Really? Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, I did make a mistake. So in project 2A, step number 5, instead of just year 1, I also supposed to put year 3, not just autofill it. So let me just redo it. All right, so what's the difference? So before, when I first showed you, which was an error, so I did this, put the year 1, and then do the autofill. So it goes increments by 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So let me just undo it. But they wanted to, you wanted to jump 1 year. So year 1 and year 3, and then you highlight those two. So now you're providing a pattern. So 1, 3, and then what's the next year? It'll be 5, and then 7, and so on. So you skip a year, and you do that by providing this pattern. So you highlight these two cells and do the autofill, or click on it. No, it's not really doing it. Okay, this is again, this is Excel 2013. So let me just do it all the way. So click, hold it down, and then drag it down, and it skips a year. Okay, phew. All right, so we corrected that problem. And then I'm back on page number 18, project 2B, and then I type the word in B6, type the word total. So total, what's the total? Total of the years? No, it's a total. We are looking for total of January, right? So to be specific, I want the total of those in this cell. So how do I do it? And it's very simple. So you want to do something to this cell, and you want to show the total of these cells above, like a year 1, 3, 5, 7. Practically, I'm not quite sure exactly why you would do it because you're skipping the year, but that's okay. We're not here to learn accounting. We are here to learn Excel. So, all right. So how do we do it? How do we add these numbers up? Okay, this is not. I just want to make it one thing very clear. These are called data, meaning that somebody has to type in with a keyboard. So that's data. And over here, it's not data. Somebody did not type in, let's say, 400 like that, because that is not okay, because that shouldn't be a data. Why? Because if somebody somehow, let's say it was not 100, it was 500, somebody corrected it, the total still shows 400. That's wrong. Okay? So let me just undo it. All right, so that shouldn't be a hard number. Instead, it should be a formula. So one of the easy way to put a formula that adds a number up is called AutoSum. So right here. So on the Home tab, and go far right, and the last group is Editing, and there's AutoSum. Just point it, click on it, and then you'll see two things. Basically, these dots going around, we commonly call those dots going around marching ants, A-N-T-S. So little bugs going around and showing us visually that they're going to add these numbers up. And also in the cell, and also look at the formula bar. That's the content of cell B6, and it says equal sign, then sum, which means add up, and then parentheses, open parentheses and close parentheses, and within the parentheses we have B2 colon B5. What does that mean? Here's a B2 and here's a B5, and there's a colon in between. So colon it means through. So basically it's going to sum between from B2 through B5, which are surrounded by these marching ants. So once you visually confirm it, and also once you logically confirm it, you just hit the enter key, and that's your 400 again. But it's not 400. The actual content of this cell It's not 400, but it is this formula. The actual content of this cell here is the formula, not 400. So let me demonstrate why that is the case. Again, let me go back here. So it was not 100. It turned out it was 500. And you correct it, and look at this. 400 goes away. It's 800. Of course, 800 is correct because we have 1, 600, 700, and 800. That's the total. Okay? That's the beauty of using formula, because formula automatically updates whatever the change that occurs within the range. So that's it. So within the range, if anything changes, change it back. Voila. You don't have to recalculate the total each time when the data gets updated. Alright, since you have this formula created, and let's see, what else do we need to do? Excel insert the formula on C. So you can do the autofill just like that. Oopsie. Okay, just 1 second. All right, so back here. So you can do the autofill, click, hold it down, and drag it all the way to June. And isn't that wonderful? You don't have to do autofill each time. You just do the auto sum each cell. You can just do the autofill, and notice this. So B2, B5, C2, C5, D2, D5. I'm looking at this formula bar here, okay? And E2, E5, F2, F5, and G2, G5. So you can notice that when you autofill a formula, it increments this cell reference by 1. So from B, C, D, E, F, G. So everybody knows the alphabet. That's how it happens. And of course, if you were to autofill it vertically, only the row reference will change, because row will become 7, 8, 9, 10. Here, when you autofill it horizontally, only the column will change, column reference will change. Okay? Okay, so save it. And let's talk a little bit more about formula. So let's come down here. And so instead, this time, let's get some averages. So instead of a total, let's get averages. So averages basically what? You add them up and then divide by number of numbers. So that's average. Yeah, of course, you remember that simple math. But also, you can use something simple and easy. Again, just click on the cell where you want to put the formula, and then go here. If you click on auto sum, look at this. It's giving the same formula, same function called sum, but that's not what you want. We're not adding. You want to get an average. So instead of just click on it, I want you to point at that triangle, downward triangle, right next to auto sum. Click on it, and you get the menu, the drop-down menu. So the top one, by default, that's sum, and the second one is average. So click on average. Oopsie, I think I'm going to have to delete that first. Okay, so go back there, and then click on the downward triangle for more options, and then click on average. And notice this, the formula here and also formula bar, it says equal sign, which indicates you are about to enter a formula, and that is followed by this function name average, and then parentheses, which includes the cell range. Alright, so once we have that, hit the enter key. So the average of these four numbers is 5,625 or 5,625. So once you confirm it, how do you confirm it, by the way? So I do this. You click on the cell and then click on the formula bar, and you can see, well, it's average function, and here's a range of cells, and here's a visual aid of the range of cells. I think that's very clear to me. It's average of those numbers. So that's how I confirm it. And then do the autofill all the way. Boom. So once you establish a formula and you confirm it, and then you do the autofill. And that's how fast and easy it can be. And so you can explore other options here, the AutoSum, and there's a count. So you can count, it'll show you how many occurrence in the range of cells. You can find the maximum or max, which means the highest number, and you can find the min or minimum, which is the lowest number, and you can even find more options, more functions, and that's that. And anything else? And I think that's it. That's project 2. That's the end of project 2. Go ahead and save it. And I'll meet you in project 3.